Good morning. I request everyone to keep yourself on mute before I start. I would request everyone to stay on mute and also refrain from chatting during the session simply because almost every slide is well thought of and has a lot of information on it while if you have any doubts, if you can just put it together on for yourself, and then at the end of the session I would have a long Q&A session. I will not really go off this meeting until everybody's questions are answered. So with that, I'd like to begin my presentation. There are a lot of tough decisions ahead. Today, I make a presentation on grade 11 in based on three different parameters. One is, my name is Hamsini. I am a representative of Dean's Academy. I have been part of this organization for the last 14 years. And so knowing that about the school, I have realized that through all the ups and downs that the school has gone through, student welfare and student has always been the highest priority. Their welfare has been the highest priority. The second part of how I'm making this presentation is, as an admissions officer, almost for the last 10 years, I have put different children through this particular process. The children have gone through the same process that I am putting your children through. So I have seen the strives and difficulties that they go through during this process for these different years. The and third, of course, not I have been through what the kind of problems that you are going through and the decisions that you are making right now. I have been through the same in the last 3-4 years. Both of my children have gone through this as well. So in these three, having all these three experiences put together, I bring to you this presentation today, which I hope will make your decisions a little better. Why choosing the right subjects for grade 11 is important. So let me first see what is normally 90% of people, how they choose a student subject. Number one, what the student wants to pursue. Number one, of course, despite we thinking that it is a very scientific process, the biggest factor that actually influences a child's subject choice is normally the family background and expectations. If there are engineers in the family, very easy for a child, for both the parents and the child, it is familiar waters. They know about it. So if you are an engineering family, a child joining engineering is most easy. The same way, if we come from a commerce family, again, a child going into commerce becomes easier. A child who's people who are artists, and for them, their child taking artists, compared to an engineer's child suddenly saying, I want to do design, it could be a scary perspective. Or a person who says, I want to do humanities, it could be a difficult decision for them. So family background, of course, makes a very big influence on subject choices for children in grade 11. Another one is peer pressure. A lot of big children, whatever their friends are joining, they would like to join the same place, the same college, the same combinations. At this particular age, when they are 15, 16 years old, friends become a very important part of their life. Their friends, what they think of them, what their friends are doing, what they are doing, becomes a very important part of the selection process. Third, and definitely not the least, is that when the influence of teachers, there are particular teachers which children are very fond of in our school. Again, if they have had a very good maths teacher or they've had a very good science teacher, the teacher is able to spark that, idea of a particular subject being a very interesting subject for that particular child. So the influence of the teacher goes for many years, not just this. And again, in Deans, I have seen a lot of kids who want to pursue 11th and 12th because the same teachers who were teaching them in 10th would probably want to come back sometimes. That is the reason why they choose a particular subject. And last but not the least, we have trending options. Each time brings with it certain options which are very trending. Like if you look at present stage, Psychology is a very trending subject. I have lots and lots of kids who take psychology in grade 11 because it opens a lot of perspectives. You can go into psychology itself, or someone wants to do law, like you want to apply for CLAT, they find it very interesting. They want to apply for NEET, they find it very interesting to be doing psychology as a subject. Now, all these, again, despite them being very, very strong reasons for a particular choice of subjects, it may not be the most scientific way of choosing the subjects that the child wants to do. So I would spend, say, about 5-10 minutes more analyzing and kind of giving you a particular idea of how I think that the child should be selecting their grade 11 choices, because the choices that they make in grade 11 to a large extent is decisive for the future of the child, for the future of the student, their career goals. It is a decisive process. Number one, of course, is, that constant readjustment. We think that this is what I did in grade 11, or this is how I chose my career. It's exactly the same for my child. Well, that's not the truth. Today's surroundings is changing at a very fast pace. So constant readjustment to the surroundings is literally the mantra of the times, and that is some of the basis of the presentation today. So there is an acronym to describe the current scenario, and that is VUCA. I'm sure a lot of you know about this particular topic, and that is, maybe another 5-10 minutes I would be talking about it. So VUCA describes how the current scenario is. The current scenario is volatile. Things are changing very, very fast, especially in the pandemic. You realize that it's uncertain. We really don't know. When the pandemic was there, I know a lot of parents would come into my office and ask me, when do you think school will open physically? I'm like, whenever parents are ready to send children to open the school physically, the school will open. It was literally that uncertain. We had no idea when the school would reopen physically. For 2 years, I remember parents constantly asking me the same question, and I had no answers for it. And I would tell them, how does your office know when you're coming back, or do we know any? It was a very uncertain time. Similar to uncertainty, it's also very complex. There is too many data points to look at. The number of different factors that are influencing our choices are huge. So obviously it becomes very, very difficult and complex. And last but not the least, it's very ambiguous. We think we are going in the right direction, and then we realize that one spot, one little thing that we missed out somewhere. As a student, how would we traverse through the VUCA world? So number one point was volatility. For volatility, again, this is a very, very important part. I want you to pay attention to this. The child needs to create a vision board. Now, the vision board does not need to be, I want to be an engineer, I want to be an astronaut. That is what people used to say when they were previous. The reason why you cannot do that anymore, because we don't know that some of the subject choices that we are choosing right now, I think this is the career for me. That career may or may not even exist in the future. That is how fast the situation around is changing, which is why we need to have a vision. Now, how does the vision work? You have a goal which is far away. A child sits down with you, writes down about 10 or maybe 12 points, like, I like physics, I like gardening, I like painting, I like football, I like mathematics, I like playing video games all the time. I like doing Instagram stories. So you have all these different things that the child likes to do. Put it down on a vision board, and the idea is, what do you think, or what does the child think that they can do far into the future? Say 40-50 years from now, what do you think, what does the child think they are going to be comfortable doing? Do you think that in their free time, are they thinking on lines of physics? In their free time, are they thinking in the lines of biology, or are they thinking only about sports? Which means tomorrow the child can be a sports psychologist, sports analytics, sports management, physiotherapy, psychologist, actual coaching, so many hundred things for every one topic you will find. So that's why the vision board becomes very important, because based on that you have those 10, 12, 15 different career choices, which today, as on today, in today's world, you need to have this vision board to see what am I comfortable doing 40 years from now, rather than thinking, oh, this is the job, so for that I need to do PCMB, for that I need to do PCMC. That's not how you're going to be thinking. Oh, I didn't get PCMC, so let me do commerce. Again, very wrong way of thinking it. The child needs to have so many options that they thought of, and based on that you try to see what are the different ways that you can achieve more, many data points which you are putting on the vision board. The second one becomes as important as the first one, and probably far more difficult as well, and that is uncertainty. Uncertainty can be solved by understanding. How do you understand? It's the toughest and most crucial part. Once you have had this vision board, I love football, I love psychology, I like poetry, I like physics, then you start looking at the courses, different courses, degree courses, and then finally down to 11th grade. What are the different, you have to explore, put at least 5, 10 different degree courses which the child can pursue, based on which they will choose what are the different subjects that they may look at in 11th and 12th. So you create many options, mainly to fight that messiness and rigidity. We think, oh, only PCMB is the way, only say, I had this thing where someone was studying for NEET, and they said, no, but NEET exam also there are maths questions, so you need to do PCMB and not PCB with psychology or PE. When you realize that the maths which is coming in NEET, which is probably only 20-30% of the entire paper, would the child be struggling through maths for 2 years simply because they have to still solve only 9th and 10th standard maths, and 11th standard and 12th standard maths is 3 times the amount of 9th 10th standard maths. So would your child go through that, 3 times the amount of maths, or 6 times the amount of maths, just to solve the 10th grade, or would they just be studying that as part of their coaching classes or studying? So that kind of understanding needs to come. So you have to think very clearly. Complexity, the same way what I was talking to you about, having that clarity. What exactly, if someone says you need, again for design students, if they are studying USEED, oh, USEED has maths in it, so they have to take a maths combination with design. Think up, have that clarity, understand what the courses entail, and based on that the child does this. Again, measurable timelines. I want to take a small example here. I had one of my very close friends, a child is a huge film buff, very fond of looking at filmmaking and looking at the baby. The parents have said, no, do engineering. Based on that engineering, you can do filmmaking in the future. And then with engineering today, he's a very good student. So obviously got into BITS, and then with BITS Pilani now doing an MSc course there. So he's going to do his engineering, after that do another 2 years of MSc. And so probably by the time he actually starts chasing his passion, which is filmmaking, which is probably music making or anything, would be say at the age of 25, 26, 27. By that time, either his passion is completely killed, or it's like he's struggling through that, because he says, okay, once this is done with, then I can start looking at that. So think about it, have a measurable timeline. Today, as on today, you can do your degree or you can do your postgrad at the age of 50, 60, really doesn't matter. I had both my mother and mother-in-law get their degrees, MSc degrees, their master's degrees at the age of 60. So I know that you can study all through, there's no issue about it. Another one is ambiguity, but again, that gets solved by agility. Agility is really a mantra in software as well right now. So that change is constant. You need to, all through the process, through the process of this selection process and studying process, you need constant readjustment. Sometimes this is not working, that is not working, that. You should be if you have these vision boards and you have this understanding, you will be able to make that change, make the change in the same options to achieve the goal in a different way than what you thought. Say, medicine didn't work for me. Can I go into art therapy? Can I go into being physiotherapy? Can I go into diagnostics? Can I go into homeopathy, Ayurveda? There are so many options. And if you just want to be a doctor, there are so many ways that you can be a doctor. So with all those options today, you being agile again becomes very important. Again, being agile helps the child overcome the stress that they go through at this age. Is very, very stressful age for the children between 15 and 18. We want, as parents, we want it to make it less stressful for them. Here is one to describe agility. I have a small video that I want you to listen to.
I'm Raika, and I'm currently in my final year in Bachelor Design. I just want to share a little bit about how I got here with all of you. So here's the thing. When I was a child, I was interested in a lot of things. Art, history, music, literature, science. So at the end of 10th grade, when we had to choose a stream for 11th and 12th, I didn't really know what to choose. So I chose the most common thing in India, engineering, which is the PCMC stream. Okay, so I decided to join one of those schools where all you do is JEE papers from morning to night. That was really tough. So we quickly realized, and not so quickly at the end of 11th grade, that this life is not for me. So I found something called design. I went for design fusion class, I learned logo study, color theory, art history, anatomy, sketching. It was a lot of work, but I really liked the whole process of it. And I thought, hey, maybe this is something that I really can do. So yeah, after 12, I wrote all the design entrance exams that I could get my hands on all over India, got it to my current one, and here I am. Now my final year, and I've never regretted it. So here's the thing. Maybe you might make some mistakes along the way. Maybe everything may not be exactly as you predicted. But that's not right. In fact, it's the little surprises too that life throws your way. And in the end, you always go where you really want to go. That's it. Bye-bye.
So let me show you with that what the Dean's mantra for Route to Excellence is. One, of course, is study smart. We want the children to take up many different things that 16 to 18 years is never going to come back. So you study smart and you enjoy the best years of your life. So some of the options that we are offering is PUC in Gunjur. PU College offers 4 courses with additional coaching in science subjects. We have 2 science subjects, PCMB, PCMC. We have 1 commerce subject and 1 humanities subject. We also offer at CBSE courses in Whitefield. In the Whitefield campus, we have combination of Anupama Sinha. Can you stop writing on the page? I'm sorry. Yeah. Under the CBSE, we have multiple combinations in 3 streams, 8 in science, 4 in commerce, and 5 in humanities. At the CBSE in Gunjur, you have, again, we are just introducing this year, so it is just 2 combinations of science, which is PCMB and PCMC. Now, first one which I spoke about was PUC at Gunjur. I would just talk to you a little bit about that. So how did the PUC campus fare during the pandemic? You would see we have these results. Again, why I started with PUC is that is where a lot of parents have a lot of misunderstanding. I would like to clarify some of it. So you realize that PUC is a little more comfortable than the CBSE courses. Having said that, you cannot get this kind of marks or this kind of percentage and results without really putting in the effort. So the children did, and the teachers both together put in a lot of effort to make sure that they got scores which are in their 90s. Now here are some of the PUC myths. Some of the common misconceptions of PUC is, number one, it doesn't carry the weightage of CBSE and ICSE in premier colleges. Now, that is a complete myth. If you go to BITS or you go to IIT, you can go to, so the best in, like I'm just saying, just taking the complete cream, A-level colleges, all of them mention PUC equivalent or, CBSE or any of the senior secondary courses. So there is no such weightage given to any particular course when they are doing in any of the premier colleges. Another one is that children cannot undertake competitive exams and score well. Most of these colleges, more than 50 to 60% of the students in each of these colleges come from PUC background. So if you go to any engineering college or medical college anywhere in the country, you will find that at least 50% of the class comes from a PUC background. Again, people think that it is not recognized for courses abroad. Well, that is not the case. The courses abroad also have this, we have our own kids who have written SATs and gone abroad after writing. Kids who have come from abroad who are doing PUC and kids who have gone abroad after doing PUC. Both of that has been done in our school. Only children who don't score well and localites take PUC board. Yes, that is you could consider that simply because there is a second language, Hindi and Kannada as well in that. And then people say PUC is too easy. We want our children to go through challenge, so it is too easy. You can score even without studying. Well, you cannot score without studying. As I said, it is a little comfortable, but you cannot get the kind of results you want without the scores, without working very, very hard. So let me again bring back one more PUC student who is going to talk about her experience at Deans.
Hi, I'm Deepika and I graduated from Deansview College in 12th grade. I switched from CBSE to state board after 10th grade during times of COVID. I focused on my entrances for 2 years, which is why I majorly switched from the central board to the state board. This extra 2 years of time that I had for my preparation gave me a head start in by the time of the actual entrance exams. I focused on the academics during times of exams and class tests and gave my sole attention to the preparation of entrance exams at other times, but keeping enough time to sleep for my breaks and other pastime activities. So I took the humanities combination, which included subjects of economics, history, political science, and psychology. So I focused on giving entrances to NID, IIT UC, and other private colleges. I cleared most of my entrance exams. I got an All India rank in NID of 486 and an All India rank in NIFT of 284. I secured admission in National Institute of Fashion Technology, which is NIFT Bangalore. I'm in the Department of Knitwear Design and I'm in my first year. So yeah, that's how state board and choosing state board has really helped me get into the colleges that I wanted to get.
One more, a BBA student.
Guys, and I did my lecture at DA and found a lot of good advantages at the PUC board. So I thought I should share those advantages with you. The very first advantage is time. The time management at PUC board is really, and then you actually get a lot of free time which you actually take up new courses or concentrate on extracurricular activities and stuff. Coming to the entrance exams, it actually prepares you pretty well and nice to crack most of the entrance exams, like the fatal way through the education system at the PUC board, everything was super cool. I've actually given a lot of entrance exams. I've literally gotten into all the colleges I've applied for, and right now I'm doing my BBA at the Christ University.
So the combinations that we are offering in PU board is 4 courses, out of which 2 are science, PCMB and PCMC. We have commerce. The science stream ones will give you additional coaching for entrance exams, which means there is coaching for CET and NEET along with the science course. It's part of the course. Commerce stream is without math. So we have accountancy, economics, business studies with computer science. And we have the humanities stream with history, economics, political science, and psychology. This is the only place where we offer history in the humanities stream. Additionally, children will have English, and they will have a second language, which is Hindi or Kannada. This Hindi and Kannada is only 4th, 5th grade level, mainly just the basics of grammar and basic reading is what is assessed in the PU exam. So it's quite easy for the children to cope. They don't feel the burden of second language in PUC. All students of Deans, of course, get a direct admission. At Gunjur campus, we are introducing the CBSE courses this year. We are only going to be offering only the science courses to begin with, because we have the facilities. We have this lovely labs and computer labs and physics, chemistry and biology labs. So we are starting with science only, which is PCMB and PCMC. At the Whitefield campus, which has been around for about 10 years, we have been having we have the CBSE grade 11 in the CBSE format. Science courses, we offer 8 courses. Out of these 8 courses, 6 courses are with maths. So you have physics, chemistry, maths with biology, with computer science, with economics, with design and innovation. This is one of the toughest courses in the entire set of CBSE grade 11, because design itself takes about 1 or 2 hours of work every day. Along with that, mathematics another 1 hour and 1 more hour of physics and chemistry. So each day, if a child is ready to put in, say, 4 to 5 hours beyond school hours to study, PCMD would be the course for them. Then you have physics, chemistry, maths with psychology, and then with PE. We have 2 combinations of science without mathematics, and that is PCB psychology and PCB physical education. Again, none of these combinations can be changed in any way because it is tied up to the timetable. The commerce combinations in CBSE, we have 4 combinations. The first combination is with applied mathematics. So that's the only combination with mathematics. Accountancy, economics, business studies are the base subjects. You have it with applied mathematics. You have it with entrepreneurship, with design and innovation, and with PE. So we have these 3 different. Again, in this we don't have business studies. So in the 4th combination, it is without business studies, accountancy, economics, entrepreneurship, and physical education. Some maths related queries. In 10th grade, we have 2 options in CBSE. You have the standard maths and basic maths. Basically, it's the same portion, of course, but some of the tougher questions or the higher order thinking of maths is not included in the basic maths combinations, and that is offered as part of the CBSE course. Now, in our school, in grade 11, the scientific maths, the maths with the science combinations, children who have taken only standard maths can take up the scientific maths. Children who have taken basic maths in 10th grade cannot apply for the science courses. They can apply only for the applied maths, that is commerce courses. So both standard maths children and basics math children can apply for applied maths combination, but people with only standard maths can apply for the scientific PCMB and your maths courses in CBSE, in the science course. In PUC, of course, you can do either if you have done standard maths or basic maths. Both the children who have opted for both of them can opt for any course. They can opt for the science courses as well in the PUC combinations. Humanities, in humanities, we have 5 combinations. The basic courses in humanities are economics, psychology, and political science. We offer it with entrepreneurship. We have two combinations with design, one with economics and the other with entrepreneurship, the other subjects being political science and psychology. We offer economics, entrepreneurship, political science, and physical education as a course mainly for children who are sports children who want to have concentrate on 11th and 12th as well for making the best of the under 18 different competitions, under 18 competitions for sports. They are able to do it with the humanities course. And of course, the last but not the least, we have economics, political science, entrepreneurship, and business studies. This is a very commonly chosen subject for children who want to take CLAT, who want to study for the law entrance exam, CLAT. They take this combination, which is really helpful to help them prepare for CLAT exams. In the future, if somebody is looking at doing civil services, this is again a very good combination for them. Otherwise, the humanities course in PUC, which has history as well, which has economics, history, political science, and psychology, is again a very good base course for civil services exams. None of these combinations can be changed in any way. We can only offer you these 17 courses as part of CBSE. We cannot make any extra subjects, or somebody says, we will study, give us an extra subject. That is something that Deans is unable to do. Over and above these 4 subjects, the child would need to study for English. The fee structure, these are already published on the website. I'm just giving you an overview so that you can know. Over and above this particular fee structure, you would also need to pay a 25,000 rupees processing fee, which is a one-time fee at the time of admission. Let me go directly to the application process. Please pay attention. I would request you not to chat at this time. How is admission process? Number 1 is only a waitlist form opens on 8th October at 9 AM. This will open from 8th October morning until very late night, 9th October. It will not be open beyond that because we are only processing admissions of the available seats. Why? Because we have our own Dean students. We have 150 students in grade 10 at the Whitefield campus and 90 students of grade 10 in the Gunjur campus who will get the first option for writing the CBSE exams. After that, whatever balance, they are writing it by this week. Whatever balance seats are there, those are going to be open. That is why we have a wait list which will be processed only for the available seats. Right after you start sending us the Google Forms, we will select the Google Forms and we will be sending you the application forms. The waitlist form does not have, again, it's not, again, because it is like fastest fingers first and or Tatkal or whatever else you would like to call it. Because of that, we've made it very, very simple. We've made it in such a way that you can fill it up from your phone as well. All you need, I will be showing you an example of it. You will need to write the name, the combination, the email ID of the student and of which you can be contacted and the date on which your child will write the exam. You would need to fill up a new form. Now we have so many combinations, but your child wants to say apply for both PCMB and say PCM psychology or PCM PCB PE. So you want to have multiple combinations. For each combination, you need to fill up a separate waitlist form. So you have separate waitlist forms and separate application form for every stream combination that you are appearing for. Then for once you have applied on 8th October, by about 9th, 10th to 11th, we will be sending you the application forms to fill in and we will give you again 48 hours, 2 days to fill up the application forms and get back to us. For applying in the application form where you will have enough ample time to apply, you need to be prepared with soft copy photographs, passport size photographs separately of the student and the parents separately, each parent's photograph separately and student's photo separately, birth certificate of the child and the mark sheet either of the half yearly exam of 10th grade, which is what would be most preferable for me, or it could be the final report of 9th grade. If you don't have the half yearly exam paper, mark sheet by that time, you can upload the final mark sheet of grade 9. You will this only goes into help. Why do I look for it? Is because in case say 4 kids got exactly the same marks and I have to choose at that time, for me to choose, I will use their previous mark sheet as a template to say, if I, when I have 4 kids who are done equally well, let me see. Or same thing, if a child has not done too well in one particular subject and done very well in other subjects, I would go back and look at the mark sheet and say, maybe that particular subject, that particular day was not a good day for him. They have done well previously in school. So again, it could be for either one. I would be looking at the report card. You will receive an email for the application number. This needs to be quoted in the exams. The exams are going to be conducted on Saturdays, 2 Saturdays in October and 2 Saturdays in November. I'm sorry, this is not 11th November, it is 12th November because 11th is a Friday. So it is 15th and 29th of October and 5th and 12th of November. The results obviously will be announced only after 12th of November. Now, this is how the waitlist form looks. As I said, I will show you an exemplar of the waitlist form. All you need to fill is the name of the child, the stream or combination code. The code will be shown on the drop down menu. You have to choose which is the code you would like to apply for, and the preferred date of assessment. We are giving you those 4 dates of assessment. You need to fill in which date you would like to appear for the assessment. You also need to write the name of the parent, the preferred email ID. Now, we will be making all communications on that email ID. So please make sure that it is an email ID that you would prefer, that you would be checking all the time. The full address with PIN code. Again, sometimes this becomes a useful way to see whether for transport or something we would be able, is it accessible for school or not. If you have a sibling in the school, or there's a preferred choice that you have, you can add it in the remarks. Once you fill that and give, we will send you the application form. Kindly refrain from chatting right now. I would like to explain very clearly, and I want parents to pay attention to what I am saying. What will you be tested on? The assessment will be in subjects that your child knows. It will be short answers, multiple choice questions, and to a large extent, all the concepts which are in the curriculum covered in middle and high school. So it's not only grade 10 half yearly portions which are going to come. Most of the questions could be from grade 9, grade 8. It's basic concepts. We are not really looking at very advanced concept because the questions are going to be short and multiple choice questions. How about unknown subjects like design, psychology, accountancy, economics? And I would be taking this in detail. I'm just putting a small note here, which is, it is a generic paper. It will be, we are looking at logical thinking. We are looking at topics which are in the current curriculum of the school. The child is not going to be tested in subjects that they have not learned. So it will be sourced from the curriculum which they are studying. I'm going to go into detail in the next slide. Please wait for it. What if I want to apply for more than one combination? You are most welcome to apply for more than one combination. You can apply for 5 combinations, 7 combinations. It's up to you. You will be charged an extra exam fee of 250 for every extra subject you appeared for. For example, if you have applied for PCMB, PCMC, you would appear only once for all the subjects. So PCM, you will get the same combinations. For computer science alone, you will pay 250 rupees extra. Tell them not to chat, please. Yeah. Science subjects. Now, science is actually the easiest. All the subjects are generic information which comes from middle and high school. So there is no specific curriculum. It's not only CBSE curriculum. It could be ICSE or IB curriculum, because we are looking at basics. Some child needs to know what does perimeter look like, what are simple algebraic, arithmetic progression, geometric progression, calculus. Again, in physics, in chemistry, simple chemical combinations. You just need, it is mostly again multiple choice questions and short answers. In computer science, there are many children who do not have computer science in 9th and 10th. So we are looking at logical reasoning questions. A child would need to write an algorithm or a flow chart or a pseudocode, or if they are comfortable writing a program, they can write a program in any language, any code in any language of their choice. The example of a question for that would be, say, find the largest number among three numbers. So you just write a yes, no kind of flow chart. Is this number bigger than this? These are the three given numbers. Input this number, input this number, input this number. Is this number bigger than that number? They just need to put it down. Say, I want to make tea. What are the different, steps that I would do to make a cup of tea? I would have milk, I would boil water, I would boil. See, the child should be able to put it down in the correct flow chart. Design, again, this includes a lot of poster making. So it could be a particular event for which you need to put a poster or a logo or an invitation based on a brief. Now, I know children who are extremely great at art and said, oh, wonderful, I'm very good at art, so I should be in design. That would not be the thing. The idea is you need to find a solution for a problem. Last year, we had a postage stamp as a topic for them to write, make a postage stamp for Gandhiji's 100th birthday. Now, there were 5 marks for writing centennial celebrations for Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. There was 5 marks for writing ₹5, like it's a 5 rupee stamp. So if you don't write ₹5 on it, 5 marks was just gone. It was not just coloring within the lines or writing a beautiful design. It was all these together. That is, you had to have this, India, say it is India. You have to, if you don't write India, you would get less 5 marks. If you don't put Gandhiji's centennial celebrations, you lose 5 marks. If you don't write ₹5 on it, you lose 5 marks. So it is hitting the brief. You have to be very clear about knowing what it is that I need to, whatever is the problem, you have to find a solution for it. Same thing when it comes to poster making, invitation. There are the basics that the child needs to cover. Same with logo design. Yeah. So then the child needs to bring color pencil, scales, pencil, etc. for the design exam, because they would be used during the exam. Economics, accountancy. A lot of parents come back and say, oh, why did accountancy? My child has never studied. Well, the portions would be like percentage, probability, depreciation, simple interest, compound interest, mean, median, mode. All of these are covered in 8th and 9th standard. These are the type of questions that would be coming. Same with economics. A lot of it comes in the civics portion and SST. It would include who is the, like say, who is the Prime Minister of India, who is the President of India, who is, what does RBI stand for, what does UPI stand for, things like that. Again, it's all to a large extent multiple choice questions. So you could make a calculated, guess. Even if you do not know the topic very well, you can make a calculated test. Now, we don't have entrance exam for 4 subjects, which obviously the child has not studied until 10th grade. So the subjects where there is no exam is PE, business studies, entrepreneurship, and political science. So for example, if a child is applied for PCMB and PCB PE, then you'd not be charged 250 extra, and if you're just writing your exam for PCMB, could be offered for both of your applications for PCMB and PCB PE. So that is the one where, these 4 subjects, there is no entrance exam. So let me look at some common anger points where people write to us, after the exams are over. Number 1, they say portions were not covered in school. Again, I'm reiterating, we are not testing the child in any subject that they have not covered in school. But even if it is like a psychology question paper, the question paper is like a reading comprehension. You have a particular situation, you'll have a question. What do you think the protagonist is running from? What do you think is the situation? Do you think it is a good situation or a bad situation? What is your opinion about it? That is the kind of questions that we are going to be asking. It is not, in that 15-year-old who's getting out, who's presently in 10th grade, the paper is designed for them. It is not designed for something that a child does not know. For design, my child is great at drawing. Why does he not get chosen? I explained that in the previous slide. He has scored very well in maths and physics in school, but I'm not sure what was asked here. I don't know why he got such bad marks. Again, we are looking at application-based questions. The questions are, you look at the question and then you have multiple choice questions. We are basing it on how they solve the particular problem. And subjects are new to him. He has not taken economics or computer science in 9th and 10th. Again, I answered that. It's to a large extent, we are looking at logical reasoning. Our solutions, all questions are taught in school until 9th grade, along with a bit of portion from the beginning of 10th grade, because we are not sure how much of the portions are covered in other schools. So while there are a lot of questions which are coming from beginning of 10th grade, few chapters which we are sure would be covered in their half yearly, most of the questions are coming from 8th and 9th grade. Again, drawing and design is not the same. Design is about hitting the brief, understanding the question and finding a solution other than blank creativity. We are not looking at only creativity. The child needs to find a solution for the problem. And 3, of course, it is level playing field. Exactly same paper is, I have 3-4 papers based on the same portions. The same papers are being administered to children of all schools, including deans. So if a child has done extremely well in his school but not done well in the entrance exam, it is a level playing field. I have only 120 seats, 60 seats in science, 30 seats in humanities and 30 seats in commerce in grade 11 at the Whitefield campus, and 60 seats in science in the Gunjur campus for science combinations. And same thing, we have 60 seats in science in PU and 1 for humanities and 1 for commerce. So our class size is only 30. Whoever are the best 30, 60 students in that particular subject which they have chosen in the entrance exam, we are only basing it out of the scores, how well they score in the entrance exam. It's a level playing field for everyone. Based on that, we will be doing the selection process. So actually class size doesn't matter to the applicants. What matters is how well they do in the entrance exam. We are just looking at the marks blankly. Whoever are the teachers other than Shweta and me here, nobody really knows who those children are who are appearing there. Only the application for number goes to all the teachers who are correcting, and based on their corrections, we are going to be only looking at the marks for choosing the children. Dean's extras, again, I would like to mention what Dean's does, because this is something when a child is at 16 to 18 years, it's not coming back. That's the best time when they can shine in, say, sports, like the under 18, if someone is wonderful at football, basketball, or MUNs, the different mock United Nations that they like to participate in, children different band competitions that they participate in. There's something that they won't get back again. Those are again things that they are not able to get exposure for if they if they join like a coaching institute like Allen or say Akash or one of that. They may not be able to enjoy this being part of school in that during that wonderful time of their life. Along with regular studies, we also have a lot of real life case studies. So the children do study a lot of different case studies are done with them, presentations are made over and on. Of course, there are field trips as well. So they do go on hikes and things like that as part of the school. Experience, again, you can see our teachers, all the teachers for all the 3 campuses. You can see our qualifications of our faculty. We are very, very proud of it. So the qualifications of our faculty is published on the website. If you go to the website, you will be able to find qualifications of all teachers in the different campuses. We also have career guidance through Lodestar, and we have a lot of guest lectures from the industry to help children make their choices in the future. Our alumni also comes back and trains children on how to prepare for NEET. What are the different combinations? Say the kids who have gone to Jindal, they'll come back and tell you in Jindal, these are the new courses that are coming up. This is when you need to study. Or children who have gone to design courses come back and tell the children how they study, how you need to study for different kinds of entrance exams. That kind of guidance is given. And last but not the least, it is the encouragement. Our senior management is very, very approachable. Different times, any readjustment that the child needs, you will realize that you yourself as a parent too are coming into school more often than you did in the past, because our teachers like to be in touch with parents and kind of update them with what is happening in school. how did Deans fare during the pandemic? This is our last entrance, our exam results which have just come out. Our present 12th grade batch, these are our different things. If you notice, 58% of the children got between 91 and 100%, and 30% of them scored more than 81%, which means almost 90% of our class has a score of more than 81%. Now, this is the batch which the children are going to join. So that is the rigor with which the teachers are teaching. So the teachers are going to be keep that particular rigor with the kids to make sure that they achieve this. So unless a child is prepared to put in, we always say it is quite stressful for the child, but we are very confident at Deans that we are able to spark that, idea of wanting to pursue a particular subject, that love for that subject in the children, we are able to get it. And that's why for our entrance exams, our cutoff remains at around 80 to 90% is our cutoff in the entrance exam for qualifying for any of these courses, because this is the percentage that we want that 30 children in our class to get. The admissions details, whatever I have presented today to a large extent is already published on the website. These are the websites which you can look at, and the admissions pages, fee structures, timelines, everything is already published on the website. This is our admissions team. I have Shweta Bhargava, who is my colleague, who has my back. We both are sitting. So if you write to Deans, you're writing to both of us. We are sitting right behind each other. So we have our backs. And, so it's not something that we don't have a very big team. We handle admissions for all campuses. My name is Hamsini. And if you have any queries, the best way to contact us is by writing to admissions@deansacademy.com. We also have a direct number, which is off during when we are making presentation, which is next 1 month or so. We do have different dates when there are presentations. On that time, the phone is not reachable, but most days between 8 and 2 p.m. you should be able to reach us through our direct number. It's also published on the website. And one big request from Shweta and me, we are part of a lot of parent groups, building groups, etc. Please don't contact us on our personal numbers for communications regarding admissions, because we go through a tough day at school and we don't really want to take work home. I hope this session has given you a lot of insights into a very, very complex and difficult process that you're going through. At this time, if there are any questions, I would be able to take the questions now. I would request all parents to raise their hand up, and I will point out each person and then, take their questions. I will not be going offline until I finish answering everybody's questions. Shweta is also available on chat, so she will be giving you the answers on chat as well. Mr. Ramanan.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a good orientation. The question is, if you can repeat the seats available at the respective campuses, which you covered, it would be great. Thank you.
At the Whitefield campus, the batch size is 120. There are 30 children in each class. We have 60 children in each of the science classes, PC, all the combinations put together. That is, all 8 combinations of science, PCM classes would be 60 children. Each design class is 30 children put in together all. So it's 30 children in each class. So it is total of 120 in the batch for Whitefield campus. And in Gunjur again, 30 children in each class. So the batch size is 60 children in PCMB and PCMC put together. In PUC as well, it's 30 children in each class. So we have 2 sections of sciences, PCMB, PCMC, 60 children. And 1 in humanities and 1 in commerce. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, just one small doubt there. In Whitefield campus for commerce, it's a 30 size batch?
Correct.
Okay, meaning commerce related.
Which means the base combination, that is accountancy, economics and business studies class, or rather only accountancy and business studies class will have 30 children who will be common. Now a design class, for example, has 30 children. So but the design students come from humanities, commerce and science as well, all put together is 30 children.
Okay, and this 120 covers the students who will come from Dean 10th to 11th also, is it?
That's true. Yes,
Okay, it's the total number. Thank you.
that's right. Is it done, sir? Okay, Richa?
Yes, madam, thank you. Madam, I had a couple of questions. I'm not sure if some of these questions are within the scope of this presentation or not. But first question is that we have this, you have this combination of PCMB, physics, chemistry, biology, along with mathematics. So what are the additional options, because we are quite confused whether we should opt for PCB with psychology or physical education, or PCB with mathematics. So if you can briefly touch upon what are the additional options which open
So
up
all
for a
the
child.
options are published on the website as well.
No,
Whatever I presented
no,
today.
career options. I'm not talking
The
about the
career
selection
options,
options.
I would want you to kind of sit down and do that particular
Okay.
exercise by yourself. It's not.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
And because earlier when I spoke to some contact person, I was told that there is going to be some tie-up with Alan for Whitefield
No,
branch
we
also.
we had a tie-up with Alan last year, but it kind of backfired very badly. The people with whom we had a tie-up with, they have left Alan, and the Alan that's there now, they were to go. See, main thing which we were having problems was that the children were doing, a particular, like what happens in a class in a regular school is that you are preparing, say, physics, a question in physics. You in school you are being taught the different steps to get to a particular answer, or maths for that matter. Each step, so many steps you do, you'll get maths. If the same thing when it becomes for an entrance exam, the child would do backward. That is, if there are 4 options as answers, multiple choice, you would say these two may not be the particular topic answer. These two may be the answer. Work backwards, shortcuts, everything. And both in school and Alan put together, your child may be doing, say, over 1 lakh questions only in maths. Now, our tie-up with Alan was that they would have a dean's badge, so that the children would go through the same course that we are doing. If I am covering, say, algebra, calculus in school at that time, we wanted Alan to do calculus at the same time. Unfortunately, that did not happen. We had a lot of kids who went through a lot of stress because of it. Because again, they are coming out of the pandemic. So coming to physical school and going to Alan, all that became really tough for them. So we are not having that tie-up with Alan anymore. In fact, I think that maybe, going back to the weekend classes in Alan would be more comfortable for most of our children. Because we did have very good results even with kids just attending weekend classes with Alan rather than the regular course. We no longer have a tie-up with Alan or any other integrated course other than our PUC, which offers it as part of the course.
Okay. Regarding the science combinations, like for example, PCB psychology or PCB physical education, if we opt for that combination to apply for Dean's Academy, in the exam, which all subjects would come? Like she would be tested on
PCB psychology, English, PCB psychology.
Of grade 8th and 9th, and largely, and with some initial part of 10th. That's what.
Correct. Actually, science subjects are the easiest because there is no unknown there. No, everything is known. It's all black and white, and it's part of the syllabus. It's
except for psychology.
Humanities students. Psychology is, as I said, it's only reading comprehension. We have a particular topic, and then the child has to read the situation and answer based on that situation.
English, madam, because the literature curriculum for all the boards.
We won't test. As I said, we won't test a child in something that they do not know. Yeah. I don't know, a child who is coming from ICSE will not be learning what the CBSE students are doing. So it's obviously going to be only commerce, or it will only be, the grammar subjects or things like that.
Okay. Yeah. My last question.
We are not going to test children in something that they haven't learned.
Thank you so much. And just one last question, that in physical education, I haven't, frankly speaking, I do not have, I haven't seen this course of CBSE.
The
So,
course,
but
the course details are published on our
yeah.
website.
So is there any sports? Is there any sport which is included as a part of the curriculum?
Correct, yes, there is. So please go through the
Okay,
PE
sure.
curriculum that is published on our website. The curriculum is also published on our, if you go to CBSE grade 11 on the admissions menu on our
Okay.
website, you will find the details of each particular subject, what are the tests going to look like and things like that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Most welcome. Rashmi?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, in the slide you were talking about entrance coaching for PUC. So from what you spoke earlier, I understood that for Whitefield campus, there is no tie-up anymore. And
Correct.
is that right? Okay. So for
So
PUC,
the only thing that we can offer as a school is that we have a drop facility. So a lot of our kids who are going to Allen still, they are dropped off after school at Allen and they are picked up from home in the morning and they dropped off to Allen, or even for that matter, so many of our design students go to DQ labs for studying. So we drop them off in DQ. So for 2-3 times of a week. So those kinds of options we have, but we don't have a tie-up with them because they are not following the curriculum. The tie-up was that they and we will go through a parallel communication, parallel curriculum, so that it is not stressful for the children to study 2 different chapters, go through tests in both parts at the same time, but that did not work out.
okay, ma'am. And ma'am, for PU in the Gunjur campus, so the entrance coaching is with a particular institute or it's the teachers?
No,
there
it is
who-
the teachers themselves. If you see a lot, if you go through our PU website, deanscollege.com, you will find our teachers who are, you find the background, like rather you see the CV of our teachers. They have come from a lot, they have been part of coaching institutes earlier. So they know how to coach students into this. Yeah.
All right, ma'am. So this would be with the curriculum and extra hours put in, or it's all
No,
covered?
it's within the school hours.
Okay, school hours. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, one more question. Just wanted to understand the process. So after the waitlist form is filled, immediately the application form needs to be filled, ma'am?
So you fill up the waitlist form, we will send you the application form.
Okay.
The
So
waitlist form, we are looking at the waitlist form primarily so that, we know how many combinations you have applied for and what is the date that you want to do the exam on, because we are giving you 4 dates to do the exam. And based on that, we will send you the application forms and you have to fill up the application form and then we'll again send you an invite to write the exam.
okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. That's
Most
all.
welcome, most welcome. Astha?
Hi, ma'am. Very quickly, what's your take on NIOS students? So my son is, he's taking NIOS, finished 3 papers, and 2, his main papers that he wants to take are in November. So, so that, it says, one is, what's your take on it? I mean, it's as fair on parity. Do you take, do you not take? And the second one is, it puts us in a bind for the half-yearly papers, you understand? So that's
Correct, yeah.
where he is.
So yeah, most of I have not had any experience of a NIOS student joining CBSE as yet. Again, because we do have NIOS as well in the Gunjur campus. That's the best part.
Oh, amazing.
We do have 11th and 12th NIOS in the Gunjur campus.
So maybe this one, ma'am, will require a personal meeting because we do have questions.
Correct.
And I'm
Yes. So
sure
that you
if
can
encourage
come and
that-
meet with the Endeavorals group who conducts assisted learning. They are the ones who conduct.
No, we
NIOS.
don't do assisted learning. He's
It's
getting
not assisted learning,
integrated
ma'am.
into
For
CBSE.
11th and
Yeah.
12th and NIOS, we have children who are going through.
But no, we
NIOS.
don't want to do an iOS. So he's finishing his
Yeah,
10th
so-
with an iOS,
Correct.
but he wants to get integrated into CBSE now.
Yes,
Or PU.
correct. So as I said, I have experience only with PU to a large extent.
Okay.
It doesn't stop you from filling the application and doing the assessment for CBSE.
Right.
Let them go through the CBSE course as well, and then PU as well. You can apply separately for PU.
Okay. All
And
right.
see how it works from there. I think they do wait, like PU also and CBSE, because the problem with, like you said, November, Normally by about August, we do the registrations. You have to
No,
register.
November now, he will finish now. So he's sitting on a sweet gap in the sense.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that
So
shouldn't
there
be
is
an issue
time
at
and that's
all,
how we
no?
chose that way. Yeah.
Correct. So that's not a problem at all. That should
Only
not.
thing over the marks we won't be able to upload. Ki, you know,
That's
we can
okay,
give his
ma'am.
other marks which
Like
are.
I said, no, the only reason I'm looking at it is in case I have 4-5 children who have got the same marks, then I have to choose from them.
But we'll set up an appointment and we'll probably come and discuss the case one-on-one, right?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks, ma'am. We'll write it. Thank you
Most
so
welcome.
much. Thanks. Bye.
Biswa,
Good morning, ma'am.
good morning.
Ma'am, currently child is studying on 10th ICSE standard.
Okay.
So to opt for 11th, let's say you have suggested for math, there is a basic math and there is a standard math.
Correct.
And for 10th standard, you have both standard as well as basic. But in 11th, you have, I think, there is a standard math or might be math which is the scientific. So just
Scientific maths
wanted
and
to,
applied maths. Scientific maths is for the math. Again, the curriculum is published on the website for both scientific maths and applied maths. You can go through it.
okay, okay. And another question is, ma'am, in 11th standard, let's child opt for a design and innovation subject. And later, if there is any provisions to choose an additional subject like computers.
No, at least in Deans, we don't have that option, sir. We are not able to support children with additional subjects. It would be the 5 subjects only.
Okay, okay. And the last questions, ma'am, what is the entrance test duration and the subject covered in test for, let's say, child go for the PCMC?
PCMC, the child will
Yeah.
go, that is what I explained also. The child will go through physics, chemistry, maths, and computer science and English.
Okay, and what is the duration of that test, ma'am?
3 hours.
3 hours. Okay, thanks, ma'am.
If the child has taken an extra subject, say I've applied for PCMC and PCME, he can even do economics along with the same thing. So I'm saying you will fill up 2 application forms, PCMC and PCME. So you have, you can apply, you can even do an economics exam in that time. As I said, most of the questions are multiple choice. You will be able to do even the extra subjects, that is 6 subjects you can appear for during the entrance exam.
Thanks, ma'am. This clarifies.
Most welcome.
Yeah.
Sarika,
Good morning, ma'am.
morning.
Ma'am, right now the child has an uncertainty of like taking commerce or humanities along with design thinking, yeah, innovation, I would say. So
Correct.
is there a counseling or something that we can do, or we can come to the school so that the child can understand?
So actually, ma'am, the school is not able to do that. You need to go through an independent counselor like Lodestar or things like that. Otherwise, for now, like the immediately, if you would like to apply, because the application is right around the corner,
Right.
you can apply for all the courses, and in fact, in 1 day or maybe two days, you can actually appear for all the exams of commerce and humanities, simply because half of those subjects are not even there. Like they don't even have
Right.
entrance exams. Entrepreneurship, political science, or, business studies, all of them don't have any entrance exam. So
Mhm.
it just becomes easier for the child to just apply for all of them and see which one he gets through.
Okay. And another thing is there a possibility to see the results of design and innovation? Because we don't find them in the deck you have shared.
Results, ma'am?
Like your 12th grade results, right? For design and
It was
innovation.
very much there, ma'am. In fact, you go to our website, you'll find it.
Okay.
The website has last 5 years result posters published on the website.
Okay. Okay. And the last thing I have is, I'm not pretty sure that if the mark sheets were given for their 9th grade, because we were in COVID online, right? So just in case that is required. So if we note down the marks, that will be okay.
No, ma'am, I would need a screenshot if it's a online report card or, a unit test, some kind of report card, which I
That
need
has
to
to
be
be
uploaded
copied.
there, yeah. It
Okay.
needs to have the school logo and stuff like that on it.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Amruta? Amruta?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry, madam. Okay. I have a couple of questions. Like first one is, you said CBSE versus state syllabus. If you go for science stream, if you opt for PUC, it will be a bit easy, but not that very much difference is there.
It's not
How
actually
about the,
easy also, it's just comfortable. I said it's exactly the same textbook. The
yeah, same, I
textbook
think.
and concepts that are covered in CBSE are exactly the same as
Yeah,
PU because they
I
don't
know.
even use different textbooks also.
Yeah, they follow same NCERT books, I guess. No.
Correct,
So,
yes.
so I am not sure about the commerce side, commerce or
Commerce
humanities
also
side.
same thing, sir. Exact same textbook.
Oh, exact same textbook, but the how they will be tested on the exams will be basically like
Exam
application
test
wise
is
and other things.
different because PUC has a board exam for PU1 also and PU2. And of
Mhm.
course, the good part about PUC is that by about November, they come out with a model paper kind of thing, which is a question bank. And all questions come only from the question bank. That is the only part where it is comfortable. You have to do the entire portion. You have to study all the concepts that are there. The only good, easy part which you say is why PUC is easy is because you know what you have to study. There is no unknown factor there. Like CBSE, you know, if any of your children are in CBSE now, you would realize that in maths, for example, no questions come from NCERT. Everything comes from RS Agarwal. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so things like that, it's like that kind of doubt is not there in PUC. You know where the questions are coming from. They will only come from the question bank.
Okay, yeah. And the second question is on the possibility of changing the stream. Like if say I opt for a particular stream in commerce, and maybe after getting into that, probably I can change that. If you have 4 streams in the commerce, right? So is it
Yeah.
possible to change that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You
Thank
can. You can
Thank
change it. And normally by about June, July, we ask them to change simply because registrations happen by end of July.
Yeah. Okay. That's great, madam. And the last one is on the CLAT.
And our course starts right after school. After the children write board exam, immediately it starts. So that is
Is it?
again, a lot of parents don't like it, but then you know, for the number of events that the children need to do, and you know, we are trying to fit in everything along with this heavy curriculum. So they immediately write 1 week after they write their board exams, they have already joined school. They have a 1 month break if all goes well. They take a 1 month break between April 15th and May 15th, but they don't have, you know, they don't get a break otherwise. So by about June, by beginning of July, in fact, they have a unit test, the first FA formative assessment. Based on that, if the child says, no, I don't think I can handle this, you know, maths anymore, I want to move to entrepreneurship or I want to move to design, we offer them that change by end of July. Beyond that, we are not able to enjoy.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, thank you.
Correct.
And the last question is about the CLAT.
Again, availability of seats should also be there. Like last year, we
I
had a
know,
lot of kids
yeah.
asking for psychology, whereas the psychology class was already more than 30. So we couldn't offer that change to psychology in the end. That is a big problem in Deans anyway, because we are not increasing the class sizes.
Okay. Understand, madam. So the last question is on the CLAT. So do you whatever I understand is for the science subjects, you are providing training on entrance examination for PEC students. So similar to that, are you giving for CLAT also?
No, we don't have. We did in the beginning we did tried, but it didn't work out. So we don't have any coaching for CLAT. The children do have mock, you know, they follow shares. We teach them how to look at the share market. We have a regular newspaper reading. We have debates and stuff like that in school, but we don't have a solid actual preparation for CLAT.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, madam. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. iPhone, I'm sorry, I don't have a name here. iPhone. I have asked you to unmute. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. So just I wanted to understand, will the colleges differentiate between the students coming out of PUC or
Colleges
CBSE
do not
students?
differentiate. I have not had that experience in the last 10 years. No, none of my
Okay.
students had any problem.
Okay.
In
And
fact, the kids have
apart-
gone abroad after PUC. They have not had any issue. Nobody has looked at it saying, did you come from PUC or CBSE or IB?
okay. And the school timings will be the same for CBSE and UC students.
Correct, yes.
And let's say, apart from the curriculum, do they have sports period?
Yes, they do.
And
They have two classes in a week where they have, they pursue a co-curricular activity of their choice. Some of them go and they part of a choir or, dance and music. Or they practice music or they play basketball, football, things like that. So they participate in many inter-school competitions. Most of the time they are practicing before school, but they do have 2 classes in a week, where they pursue co-curricular activities.
Okay. If I understand correctly, the entrance examination coaching will be taken by the teachers themselves during the school period. It's
Correct,
It
yes.
is not a separate.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Most welcome. Nabanita. Nabanita.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Thank you for the presentation. 2 quick questions. One is, do we have to fill out different forms for the Gunjur and Whitefield campus, or is it a common form?
It's not a common form. All sections are different, all combinations, again, more, you have to do newer forms. Each one has a different, the waitlist forms are different and the application forms are also different.
And the exam is also different?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, and the second question is, you sort of answered it that, if my daughter wants to do PCMB and or PCMC, they can opt for going for both exams, right? That's underlined in the website itself.
Yes. They can actually try to do, when they come here for the exam, we will tell them whether they can do both on the same day, or we'll ask them to come on another day. If they are doing it on the same day, then there is an extra payment of 250 whichever day they are doing the exam.
Sure.
For every extra subject that they are appearing for.
And ma'am, another question. The day that we submit the form, it's marked as 8th October. So that is the day we go to school and make the payment along with the submission of the form?
No. You only do it on the day the child is coming for the exam. For example, if a child is applying for, say, PCMC and PCMD, I know that the child cannot complete computer science and design papers on the same day. Both papers are time consuming papers, both computers and design. It may not be very tough, but it is time consuming. So I would ask them to come, say, for the next week for design. Alternatively, if a child is taken, say, PCMC and economics, they can very well do it on the same day. So on that day itself, I will collect 250 rupees extra that day when they are coming to write the exam. They finish it on the same day. Otherwise, on the day the child comes to write the design exam, they pay that day when they are coming. Simply because, kids change their mind. They come here, they do the paper, and then they say, oh, the paper went out very well. I don't want to do, even though I've applied for and I've filled up the applications, everything for another subject, I don't want to appear for it. Then I don't want that thing of having to return money and things like that. So on the day a child writes an exam, that is the day we would collect it.
Okay, fine. So then the initial submission of form is online, and then
all forms are only online. All forms are online.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most welcome. Roshna?
Yeah. Good morning, ma'am. This is regarding that waiting list application form. So if I'm applying for PUC as well as CBSE, I have to apply 2 times, right? That waitlist application form.
Actually, for PUC, directly the application form will open on 7th October. So you can fill up, you can apply directly. Those applications are processed purely on the basis of your marks which you are uploading. We will have an interview and we will process it. There is no entrance exam for it. Whereas for CBSE, we will send you, you will only be filling a waitlist form, and then we will send you an application form, and based on which day you have chosen, you can come on that day and write the exam.
So that for the CBSE, if I am opting for 3 options, I have to fill 3 different waiting list form, right? Okay.
3 waitlist
So,
forms and 3 application forms also, ma'am.
okay. Thanks for that. So PUC, there is no application form, directly uploading the mark list and.
Correct.
So,
That's right.
okay. So waitlist form is also not there for PUC.
No, ma'am. Directly application form.
Only application form. So for getting the application form, what we should do?
Go to the PUC, in the admissions menu, you can go to PUC and the apply online will open on 7th October, ma'am.
Okay.
Or any of the admission pages also.
7th October, it's like.
It says 7th October. On 7th October, if you click on that, it will open. The application form will open.
Okay. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks for the information.
Chandrasekhar?
Hey, good morning, ma'am. This is extension to what Asta is mentioning regarding NOS, but it's not related to NOS. I had a couple of questions regarding the languages. Okay, is there any for Gunju CBSE? Is there any specific second language that needs to be taken? That's question number
CBSE
one.
does not have a second language. It's just English and the 4 subjects that you've chosen.
Fantastic. Okay, thanks. And second question is it mandated to have the second language in 10th for admission for either CBSE or PUC?
No.
And maybe last question, when will the entrance exam happen? I know 8th October is what you'll give a date, but will it
8th October is the waitlist form, sir. The entrance exams are on 15th and 29th of October and 5th and 12th of November. These are the 4 dates when the exams are being conducted.
Thanks so much. I think I answered all the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, it is 3rd language level. Richa?
Yeah, madam, sorry to bother you again.
No problem.
I have a couple of more follow-up questions. First one is, if I understand that if my child opts for PCB psychology and also she wants to opt for PCB physical education, so in that case she will have to fill in 2 forms, but then exam will be only 1 because there is no exam for physical education. Is that right?
Correct, sir. Correct.
Okay. And my second question is that you mentioned that you have the facility of dropping the children to Allen's from the school.
Yes, sir.
So
So that depends on the route, sir. If the route is passing by that particular place, you'll have to talk to the transport department and tell which days your child wants a drop back there. Pickup will be the same place and drop back will be at a different point. That will be something that you need to tie up with the transport department on that particular time.
Okay. So, okay. Actually, I wanted to know which.
We do that for kindergarten as well. See, a lot of kindergarten and primary school children go to daycare centers. So they pick up is from their home and they get dropped off at daycare centers. Or the offices of their parents, which have a daycare center there. So, or the grandparents' homes. So the pickup and drop can be at different places.
Oh, okay. Actually, I thought of asking you which branch of Allen you are dropping.
That's exactly. I knew that was what. It is dependent on whether a route goes through that particular road. We are not changing any routes for that. But if there is a bus route that goes through that particular road, like I said, we do have kids who go and get dropped off at their grandparents' homes. So it's
right. I got your point. And my finally, my last question is the exam dates, as you mentioned, 15th and 20. Yeah. So these 4 dates. So this we get to opt for once the waitlisting form is cleared, and then when you send the
form. In the waitlisting form.
In the waitlisting
form.
People
who have opted for 15th October, we will send them the application immediately so that they get their, because they have to be ready immediately to come back for the exam. So based on which day you want your child to write the exam, you need to choose that in the waitlist form. Application form is common for everyone.
Okay, and this PPT which you shared, this PPT which you had which you went through, is this can this be shared or?
No, actually, I don't have it as of now. Let's see what I have to do. I probably have to edit some bits and put it.
Okay. And the exam timings, have you is that decided or?
Yes, it's published on the website as well. 9 a.m. 9 to 12.
Okay.
9 to 12 on those particular dates.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Most welcome. Mr. Padmanabhan?
Yeah, good morning, madam.
Morning,
See,
sir.
I just heard that you are going to start that 11th academic exposition just after the board exam of 10th grade. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So that means you are not bothered about the results of SLC?
No. If they are able to write our entrance exam, I'm sure they'll get through that as well.
Okay, thank you very much. And one more question. Thanks for this orientation program and everything. Right? It's happening this October itself. Okay. But my basic question was that what is the hurry begin? It's not only for deans. I just wanted to ask for even MPS as well. So why they are putting that much pressure? Why can't they start this in the April or even March?
So the problem is,
I
I
want
want
to
to
If you
finish
don't want
the.
to answer, I happy. Okay, no
No,
problem.
not at all.
But just
I
want to ask.
have, sir, no, I'm ready to answer. I've been doing this for 10 years now, so I have no issue with it. It's just that we don't want the children by about November, December, they have pre-board exams. By March, they are having their board exams.
Correct.
After that, if I do admission processes, they do get worried. There is a worry part in it, which is why before their pre-board exam, which starts in December, I want the admission process to be completed so that they go through their board exams with that thing that their admissions are finalized.
Okay.
For both parents
Okay.
and for students, it's a comfortable space. That is why we don't, even during pre-boards, we don't have any of these orientation sessions or writing exams because we don't want them to go through that kind of tension.
Yeah, it's instead of after the exam, you are coming with before. That's correct, right? Understood.
Pardon?
Instead of after exam, board exam, you are coming before that, right? Prior to that.
Right, because
Yes.
see, if you
Correct.
look at the present year's report card, their mark sheet came in August, by which time our children had finished writing their first unit test also.
See, there is a huge difference between madam, because there are schools where, for example, Gopalan or Vibjia, right? See, for that first set of exams, no, some of them have syllabus is only the first portion, okay?
Correct.
But for some other school, they complete the entire syllabus, they are conducting the exams, okay? The pressure what the kids taking is more, okay? There are chances, even they prepare well with the entire night they're studying and going and attending exam, and there are chances that they go score less in the exams. Okay, when they make a score better in March, but when you say you are not concerned about the March results, okay, then what is the effort, whatever they are putting in for March?
So if you ask me as a school, I know, personally, I feel the board exams is a big fuss. So all my kids who are normally getting 60%, 70% in regular school, they will get 80, 90% in board exam because their portions are over by November, by end of October. From November to March in our school, at least in deans, each subject they go through it over and over and over again till the time that by the time they come to board exam, to wake up the child in the middle of the night and ask a question, the child would have learned it by heart.
Correct.
So
Correct.
so the board result to a large extent doesn't really show what the child's capability is, what they are able to think up and things like that. It is the pressure that the child goes through and they finish it off accordingly. But the 11th and 12th, having said that, is literally 3 times whatever you're studying in 10th grade in ICSE or CBSE or anything, the 11th and 12th portion for maths or physics or anything is exactly 3 times what they are learning in 10th grade. So,
correct, I agree.
Yeah, which is why we need to start immediately.
Yeah, it's not only in the 11th grade also, it happens in for JEE or other any NIT exams also, it happens in the middle of the same +2 or even I can say second higher grade, secondary grade.
Correct.
Thank you very much, madam. Thanks for the answer.
Most welcome. Mr. Ramanan?
Yes, ma'am. Question is a request to elaborate on this AEBM entrance exam, since they have not done this subjects before. I picked up that there is general awareness, civics, math related questions. Could you just elaborate on general awareness?
That's correct. I've actually had that part of my slides.
Okay.
In accountancy, they would do percentage, depreciation, in common interest, simple interest, ratios, probability, things like that.
I saw that, ma'am.
It should be
Okay,
there in accountancy. In economics, it is part of civics. So you'll have a lot of, what do you think is RBI? What do you think are the different, who is it? Again, it's mostly multiple choice questions to a large extent. and a reading comprehension, of course. We do have one reading comprehension. So again, it is topics that are covered in 9th and 10th in civics.
Okay. Now I noted the word general awareness in the slide. Does that mean
General
history,
awareness is you
geography,
should
GK?
know who is your president of your country, who is
Okay.
what is the bank that regulates all the banks in our country, or what is the what are the different providers of online payments,
Okay. Okay.
Again,
General
again, I said, because it is a topic that the children have not done till now. So it is to a large extent multiple choice questions, simply so that they can do, if they haven't learned it till now, they can make a calculated guess. Say this may
Understood.
be the answer, they will have an idea.
Understood. I think it is GK, current affairs, and various things.
Correct. And a lot of it is part of what they are doing in school right now.
All right. Thank you.
Most welcome. Mr. Ram?
Yeah, hi, ma'am. Good morning. I think you answered on this Alan Aka's collaboration.
Yes.
What will be the school timing if a child opts for this institute
School time
coaching
is the
also?
same, sir. 8 to 2:45.
8 to 2:45, and after 2:45 you drop them to the coaching center wherever he has
Correct.
to
Yeah,
go.
it's only 15 minutes away, 10 minutes away. So
Okay, got it. Okay, so you drop only to Alan, is it, not to Akash if at all we choose to go?
Akash,
Or
also, sir, most of our bus routes, about whatever bus routes we have in school, the maximum travel time in our bus routes are 40 minutes.
Okay, and this school timing is same for everybody, is it? Even if they don't choose to opt any of this institute, they will still go finish the school by 2:45.
Correct.
Okay, and you also talked about different options. So we have options for PCMB, PCMC, and PCME, right? If you have to choose all these three different waitlist forms, is what you said.
3 waitlist forms, 3 application forms.
Application form. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Amrita?
Yeah, madam. Sorry, again, we am asking some questions. So I just understand that there is no entrance test for PUC. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So then what would be the basis of admissions? Like
We will meet the child, and it will be based on their previous mark sheets.
So their 9th standard marks, and also maybe first term 1 marks probably, right?
That's why we are delaying the admission. We will be doing their admission. We'll be processing the admissions only by the end of November, by which time your half yearly marks should have come in by that time.
So for PUC, it will be in the month of November, is it? End of the November.
Yes. If you've applied on 7th of October, by November, we will be doing the admission process. 8th of October, you applied. So
that's great. Okay. And one question is on the computer science. I'm just seeing the options against computer, commerce for PUC. There is only one combination which has computer science in it. How difficult is that in computers? Because what I did is, it's my personal experience. I thought my child will do good in computers and opted for computer science in 9th and 10th. But now she is hating computer science. So means it's very difficult for her to do the computer science. So I just want to know if I want to go only for this commerce stream, how difficult it is in the computer science. Like it is basics only. It will be touching.
So you do have, they are learning Python. So there is a little bit of programming as well. Yeah, Java.
It is. Yeah, it is same as 10th standard.
No, it's not same as 10th standard. It's same as 11th standard. 11th standard CBSE, what is being followed, that is the same thing which is being followed by PUC.
Oh, okay. Same standard as the CBSE 11th. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Abhiram Reddy.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful presentation. I have some questions to ask. So will all the subjects get conducted in the same paper, like entrance exam, the entrance exam?
Yes.
So there'll be one paper and all the subjects will be included in it.
No, it will be separate papers for each subject because it will go to that particular teacher. So you won't even be putting it in the same sheet.
What will be the marks like?
Marks will be out of 20 for each subject separately.
Okay, thank you.
Aditi? Aditi?
Yeah. Good morning, ma'am. Quick question. I just needed a little more clarity on when does one opt for entrance on different days for subjects?
The waitlist form, ma'am. Ma'am, you can't do for different subjects. You have to say which date are you writing the exams. That's it. We will select, ma'am. We will tell the child, we'll get back to you one-on-one to say how many they can do on that particular day and how many they'll be doing on another day.
Oh, so that's not something that we choose, but the school's going to
See,
come
like,
back.
I'll give you a simple thing that I need you to do. One is one complete base combination has to be done on one day, which means if I have chosen PCMD and say I have selected AEBD, which is both of them have design, accountancy, economics, business studies and design, and PCMD, physics, chemistry, maths and design. Either one full combination you have to do on one day. That is, on one day you do either full AEBD or full PCMD, and another day you do the balance 1 or 2 subjects that you are extra, which is left over. What I cannot do is I'll say today I'm doing accountancy and I'm doing maths and I'm doing chemistry, and another day I'm doing physics and business studies and design. It cannot happen.
Okay, but that's not for, so I got your point. But then selecting another day is not for me. It's the school that will come back and let me know that this cannot be done on the same day.
Yes, sometimes most of the combinations you can do it on the same day. Kids are able to do it easily in 3 hours. But yeah, there are certain combinations which I wouldn't want to push them through. And so again, for me, like from my side, I'm testing the ability of the students. So I won't push them beyond a level where they're getting very tired and they're not answering, then it doesn't work. So I'll ask them to come on another day and I'll give them a different paper from what they did that day.
Okay, got it. So the other question is, when it is for Whitefield and the Gunjur campus, the 2 exams. So the paper, so once they appear for the exam, like say, for example, PCMC, and we're open to considering both the campuses.
Yes, that, I can, you can write back to me with the application forms for both the campuses. I can look at it both, or otherwise I'd ask you to come back and rewrite the exam for Gunjur or rewrite the exam for Whitefield.
So this is a personal correspondence that has to be done in addition to the application form.
Correct, yes. Because I will also be noting down what combination your child did that particular day. I'll give them a different set of papers in case they're redoing the exam.
Okay, so you mean to say that there is a possibility that they do a PCMC for Whitefield and then another day PCMC for Gunjur?
That's right.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
LRK?
Very wonderful presentation, but I lost conversation the network issue. During the recording session, madam, whatever you given all the presentation.
I have recorded it, but that's again for me, for my personal, just to go through and see what I have said. Yeah.
Okay. Just for one, the question, I thought let me go through one. Okay. The second question is, madam, 11th and 12th PUC, we have the board exam only for 12th, right? Not for 11th grade. In the PUC.
For CBSE, there is no board exam in 11th grade, but for PUC, there is a board exam in 11th grade as well.
Okay, 11th is okay. Okay, fine, madam. And the other question is like, we want to focus only the Karnataka entrance exam. Are you going to concentrate only on the PUC, only on the for Karnataka, this thing? I mean, Karnataka.
CET, they can, because see, when the course is going on, they will only look at topic, they will be doing questions from that particular chapter that they are doing. But post January, they start doing mock papers, like a mock case set papers, previous year's papers, and mock papers of that. So that is time tests, and although time tests we are doing from January onwards. At that time, you say, no, I don't want to do IIT JEE, I want to do only CET or case set. Then your child will be doing only case set papers.
Okay.
Until then, the course is exactly the same. Post January, it will change. In case you say, no, I'm doing only NEET, I'm doing only IIT JEE, I want to do KSET, I want to do CET. According to that, you will be doing different. different papers. Either way, all the kids they're given a choice which papers they want to appear for, because they are time tests at that time. Until then, it's not a time test.
I have one more question, madam. Actually, for Karnataka CET, they are going to consider only for second PU exam result. Is it they're going to consider for 11th? I mean, first PUC result also, madam?
So I don't think so. They, in fact, very little, most of the percentage, just like how we do, the scores, primarily the CT scores are going to be considered for you to do for you to be selecting in the selection process. Though they do look at the results as well, but most of it will be from your entrance exams, no?
50% of the marks is going to consider for 12th.
No, it's only 12th grade to a large extent.
Yeah, second PU, and 50% will be considering on
During
the
application process, you can put in the 11th grade result. Like for us, all the colleges that you are applying for, you
Yeah.
would be putting your 11th grade mark sheet. Even if you are in CBSE, say I am applying for UCED or I'm applying for Christ now, the application for Christ will open in November for degree college. So you will be putting 11th grade results as part of the application form. Do you get that?
Yeah, I got the point.
Correct. But during the selection, by the time the selection happens and you have gone for the interviews and you have gone for everything, your 12th grade results will be there, and then they will ask you to bring it with you for the interview process or for the counseling process. But during the application form, you will only have 11th grade.
And I understand on the 11th grade, but only one thing is, okay, let me cross check one second. This was I studied in the Karnataka only, that what I had. Let me cross check.
Okay.
Madam, my wife has one more question. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, in Deans, so are you focusing only on board exam, or do you give any training for entrance exams also, like KCET, all this?
Only in PUC, ma'am, not as part of CBSE courses.
Okay, competitive exams, you are not giving any.
Competitive
coaching,
exams
right?
are not with the CBSE courses. Only with the PUC.
With PUC, you're concentrating, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you, ma'am.
Last question, ma'am. Do you have any residential, madam, for girls? Do you have any residential or boarding
No,
schools?
we don't have boarding. We don't.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Ameya?
Yeah, yeah. Good morning, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so a couple of things. I think some of these have been briefly touched upon by others' questions. The first thing is about, I'm still not clear on the choice of facility, the number of exams, and the number of application forms to be filled. So I'll take an example. Okay, let's take an example. Suppose, let's say my child wants PCMC. How many forms or how many those entrance forms does he need to fill, given that we are open to both Whitefield campus or Gunjur campus?
So the application forms are there. You can apply for either one. For waitlist, you have to apply separately, and for applications also you have to. So if you can familiarize yourself with the admissions menu on the website, it becomes very clear. It is campus wise. So you have to go to the Whitefield campus, you have to go to grade 11 and fill up a waitlist form for the Whitefield campus and mention PCMC and mention which date you're doing the entrance exam there. Then you go to the Gunjur campus menu, you go to the waitlist form there and you fill up a PCMC waitlist form in the Gunjur campus one. If you're looking for PUC as well, you go to the PUC link. That is an application link. You have to fill up an application form for PCMC. Now, once you have done that, we will be looking at the waitlist forms and sending you application form links. Now, the links also are separate. So, from the people who have filled up the waitlist form for the Whitefield campus, we will send them the link for that particular date and say, this is your application form. Please fill it in. Give it to us. Say, if you're filled up on 8th of October, I will say, please fill up your application forms by 10th of October and get back to us. Get back to us also if you're giving us more than one combination, please write back to us or something. Otherwise, if you just fill up the form, it's enough. And once we received your form, we will be sending all the people of that particular form, we will send them the entrance exam. We will ask them to come we'll give them the entrance exam invite and ask them
Okay.
to come for the entrance exam. So it is from the parent side that if you have applied for Whitefield separately, Gunjur separately, and PUC separately, you need to put in different exam dates.
Okay.
But you cannot, because you'll have to appear for it separately.
Okay. So can Gunjur exam be taken from Whitefield, or does he need to go to Gunjur?
No, you'll have to go to Gunjur campus.
Okay. 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 Fine. Thanks so much.
Phone?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
morning.
Yes.
Yeah, are you audible, madam?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, my son is studying in Bagdevi for class 10. For the 11, 12, what is the procedure for admission, madam?
I explained it over the last 1 hour, sir. 1 or 2 hours, actually.
So just now I joined actually, late actually.
I'm sorry, I cannot explain it further. Kindly go through the admissions menu or write to us and with any questions that you have, and we will send you the details online.
Okay.
Because I did a very detailed process of how you have to apply. So I cannot be reverting back.
The written test will be in Gunjur or Whitefield, madam?
Depends on which campus you applied for.
Gunjur, madam.
Then it will be in Gunjur.
Gunjur only, no?
Correct.
So we can apply online also?
Yes, for all the campuses, all applications are online.
Online only.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, anything? Okay, madam. Okay, we have to apply. Now online form is already available, madam?
Pardon?
Online form now available in the site?
No, it will be available from 8th October at 8 a.m. 9 a.m. Sorry.
Yeah, madam. Thanks, madam. Many thanks. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So just I wanted to have clarity on this PUC. You mentioned that PUC, they will have 11th also board exam, 12th also they will have a board exam. So when they go for college admissions, how do they view? Because the CBSE students will have only one board examination marks and PUC will have two. So they will consider differently.
It's part of the mark sheet, like how, the way the final mark sheet comes in PUC, they have a mark sheet which has a consolidated of 11 and 12, whereas in 11th
Is
grade.
it an aggregate, ma'am? Because I don't know. I haven't.
Ma'am, it is separate, ma'am. You will find it separate. It will say 11th grade so and so, 12th grade so and so. That is how the report card looks. Whereas in only the final board marks is considered, but 11th grade is looked at when, say, if a child is looking for a particular, though most colleges have their own entrance exams, but yes, they do look at the marks as well.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am?
Yes, Bitu.
So for the entrance exam, will it only be MCQ?
Pardon?
The entrance exam, will it only be MCQ?
No, to a large extent MCQs or short answers, though in economics we have one question which is an opinion piece. In English again we have one question which is an opinion piece, where the opinion piece is for about 10 marks, which means you need to write 100+ words, a small essay based on a particular thought process or a particular situation or a cartoon or a picture. Based on that you would need to write an opinion.
So if I'm applying for PCB, so for that, how would the pattern be?
It is mostly multiple choice questions and short answer based questions, which means it's just one line answer.
So there's no descriptive answer writing, right?
There are 1 or 2 questions which are descriptive, but it's not like hugely, we are not expecting more than 50 words.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else has any questions? Okay, thank you so much. I extend all my best wishes to all the students who are appearing for the entrance exams. Do get back to us. Please write to us in case you have any doubts. And it was our pleasure hosting you for this orientation session. I hope your takeaways from this is as good. Thank you so much.
Thanks a ton, ma'am. Very informative session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye.